Hi, my name is Ashley Seiss, and this is my capstone presentation on addressing dietary acculturation at Shriners Children's Hospital of Hawaii. Before starting this presentation, I put a lot of time into research and interviews for this capstone project. What I learned is that the staff at Shriners Children's Hospital of Hawaii truly go above and beyond their day-to-day job titles. They show incredible care and attention to the children and families staying at the hospital. But this also means that they're already at full capacity and can't take on additional tasks. Since Shriners is a nonprofit, they really rely on volunteers for extra help. So my hope is that this presentation reaches current or future RDNs, or even dietetic interns who are looking to do community work. I've been a volunteer at Shriners Children's Hospital for over a year now. What is unique about the Shriners in Hawaii is their global patient outreach program. This outreach extends to many other regions, including other islands of Hawaii, the Asian Pacific region, Central America, South America, Africa, and much more. Through this program, children are brought in for much needed orthopedic surgeries. The hospital has a family center that can house one family member along with the child receiving surgery, with a total of 17 rooms available. There is a shared kitchen for the families to cook in, and Shriners will provide the raw ingredients and some basic staples for the families. During my year at Shriners, I had the opportunity to shadow the clinical dietitian during a few of her appointments. I noticed a trend among some of the families when discussing weight management and food preparation. Several of them expressed frustrations about the types of food they were receiving and their unfamiliarity with how to use them. The foods provided were often different from what they were accustomed to. Some of the fruits and vegetables were unfamiliar, and they didn't know how to incorporate them in their regular meals. As a result, many turned to fast food or convenience options like 7-Eleven. This shift to a more westernized diet is known as dietary acculturation, which can have both short and long-term effect. In the short term, it can affect a person's physical, psychological, and social well-being, especially when combined with the stress of being far away from home and managing their child's surgery and recovery. In the long term, transitioning to a westernized diet, typically high in fat, sodium, and sugar, and low in fruits and vegetables, can increase the risk of chronic diseases. While Shriners is providing a vital service to international children through orthopedic surgery, there appears to be an oversight in addressing the nutritional education needs of the families. So, my original proposed solution was to provide weekly recipes to the family center. Through my research, I found several qualitative studies conducted with immigrants and temporary international students that showed they were willing to learn new recipes. When the participants were given raw ingredients along with recipe cards, they reported a reduction in stress and cognitive burden, as it helped simplify their meal planning. They even noted an increase in vegetable consumption and felt that the meals were healthier because the recipes included more vegetables. However, when I interviewed the 3 key stakeholders who would have been involved in implementing these changes, a different solution emerged from all 3 interviews, and that was cooking demonstrations. The manager of the family center mentioned that the families were more engaged when a past dietitian conducted cooking demonstrations. He even occasionally shares his own recipes along with a cooking demo when he has the time, and the family seems to love it. The other 2 stakeholders also mentioned that the current cooking class being hosted by a local university has been very popular among the families, but this is only done once a year. When I was researching recipes as a nutritional education tool, I came across a study called Beyond Translation, Increasing Accessibility to Nutrition Education for Foreign-Born Latin Adults. And the research involved 13 focus groups with 113 Mexican-born individuals now living in the U.S., all aged 30 and older. The goal was to understand the motivators and barriers to healthy eating. What the study found was that many of the participants weren't confident in preparing new dishes and mostly stuck to traditional foods. But they did want to learn how to make healthier and child friendly meals, and they were open to doing more interactive cooking classes where they can try out and sample new recipes. This sentiment seems to ring true among the families at Shriners Children's as well. They want more interaction. As a short term solution, I think the RDs could start handing out weekly recipes to the family center. Well, this is helpful in the short term. I believe that the cooking demonstrations would have a bigger impact. The reality is, the current RDs at Shriners just don't have the time to lead demos, even if it's once a month. So, if you're a future or current dietitian, if you're doing your internship, if you have some sort of project that you want to work on within the community, I encourage you to consider volunteering to do a monthly cooking demo at your local Shriners Children's Hospital. They have 22 locations across the US, Canada, and Mexico. And if you're in Hawaii, even better, because they would love to have you as a volunteer. Here's the list of my references. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate any feedback.